So let's talk about recovery from a mommy makeover procedure, because I'm not only a plastic surgeon, but I'm also a mom of two. And I know that the biggest hurdle to recovery isn't the surgery itself. It is trying to balance healing and recovery with being a mom. Those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Dr. Megan Dreveskrat. I'm a board certified plastic surgeon in Seattle, Washington, and I do a ton of mommy makeover procedures in my practice. So I have 4 tips for recovery for a mommy makeover. Number 1 thing is plan ahead for childcare. Okay, this does not mean that you need a babysitter for 4 weeks, but after having surgery for a minimum of 4 weeks, you are not going to be able to do any heavy lifting. So this is no picking your kids up and putting them on the changing table, no helping them get in and out of the car, or if you have a really small child, no carrying a heavy car seat. So this is really where you're going to have to take a step back and rely on other people's help. Rely on your partner. Maybe ask your family for help. Rely on hired care like a nanny. But this is really where you're going to need to plan ahead, have a plan in place, because you do not want to compromise your results because you are doing heavy lifting when you shouldn't be. The second is have realistic expectations for your recovery timeline. In our minds, we're going to be going for a jog a week after surgery. You know, a lot of women's reference point with having a mommy makeover procedure is C-section or birth. And I think the important distinction is, yes, after this procedure, I'm not handing you a newborn and asking you to take care of it. But after you have a kid, there is a huge adrenaline rush that comes with that. And that gives us this superpower mom strength. You're not really having that now. This is really your time to recover, but you are going to need recovery. So plan your timeline accordingly. Another thing to consider with timeline is that most people think about pain. Pain after surgery is actually relatively short-lived. Average time on pain medication for my patients, 3 to 4 days. However, fatigue is the thing that lasts the longest. So don't overschedule yourself. Plan for naps, and just take all of that into consideration as you plan your recovery. So the third is set up a recovery space, or think about even staying in a hotel for the first couple of days so that you don't have to be tempted with sort of mom duties, right? Recovery, snacks, hydration, a phone charger, all of those things, so that yes, you get up and walk around, which you need to do after surgery, but you are not kind of all over the house, moving all around. And the last and final thing that I want to say is that you should expect going into this a roller coaster of emotions. You are going to feel guilty, right? When your child is crying and they need a diaper change and you cannot physically pick them up to go and do that, you are going to feel guilty because this isn't something that happened to you, unexpectedly. This is something that you planned for and is